Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to, of course, my NFL week number 3 reactions. Yes, it is crazy that we are already in week number 3 of the National Football League. It's absolutely wild that the season's flown by this fast already. Next week, of course, is week number 4. We'll have predictions for you guys tomorrow. But before we hop into today's video, if you are new to the channel here, we talk about all things sports. Hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Of course, lots of news and headlines yesterday between the Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb and Tyler Booker being out for 4 to 6 weeks. Bruce Pearl's retirement. Obviously, I'm wearing the Auburn shirt and the Auburn hat right now. But, of course, and today, Mike Gundy being fired from Oklahoma State, who has spent more than his lifetime at Oklahoma State, which is absolutely insane, is officially out at the, of course, Oklahoma State Cowboys at football head coach. And of course, we'll see what their program does here in the next few weeks with that news. But before we hop into, of course, these NFL reactions, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. And without further ado, let us go ahead and hop right into these NFL week number 3 reactions. All right, so kicking us off here, of course, on Thursday night, we have the Dolphins going into the Bills, and of course, what was Josh Allen's game where he did not throw the ball down the field at all. I don't think he completed a pass beyond 10 yards the entirety of the game, which is absolutely wild. However, Josh Allen was 22 of 28, of course. 3 touchdown passes there late in the fourth. James Cook had 100 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. You fantasy owners out there who got him, kudos to you, because he has been balling out, I believe scoring a touchdown in pretty much every game that the Bills have played, and the Bills are now 3-0 on the year. So obviously, as expected, the Bills are probably going to win the AFC East. Moving on to the first game on Sunday, we had the Packers going into Cleveland. Cleveland getting the job done over Jordan Love. Jordan Love was the better quarterback, however, 183 passing yards, 1 touchdown for, of course, the Green Bay Packers quarterback. But it was that Cleveland defense and Myles Garrett getting the job done. I actually watched the end of this game, of course, where they did hold the Packers there on that final drive and scoring 13 points in the fourth quarter, allowing them to get the job done and get the win. A slugfest of a game for the most part, but the Browns do ultimately walk out of Cleveland with the W over what a lot of people are considering a NFC contender in the Green Bay Packers. Moving on to the next matchup here, we had the Colts going into the Titans. Man, Danny Dimes is elite, guys. I'm not sure. I don't know if I should pick him up in fantasy football or not. You guys let me know in the comments down below. But the dude has been balling out, 200-plus passing yards in his first 3 games as a Colt. The Colts undefeated for the first time in the Lombardi Trophy era, which is absolutely insane through 3 weeks. Cam Ward and the Titans did struggle on offense there a little bit, scoring pretty much in the second or third and fourth quarters. However, in that first half, they looked a little slow to get things going, which, of course, is where the Colts kind of took advantage of that in the first quarter, putting it on the Jets, and never looked back from there as Danny Dimes and the Colts do get the job done. Moving on to the next matchup, we got the Cincinnati Bengals going into the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota getting the job done. They are now 2-1 on the year. Carson Wentz, the backup, threw for 2 touchdown passes. Of course, Justin Jefferson being the leading receiver with 75 receiving yards. Jordan Mason, of course, rushing for 2 touchdowns on the day as well. Jake Browning, not a lot to talk about when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals, guys. They looked dead awful. Yes, they did not look the greatest in the world at all. And going to be very interesting to see if they sign another quarterback like Kirk Cousins or if they trade for somebody like Jameis Winston in there as well. Moving on, the game, ladies and gentlemen, that defines the Carolina Panthers season, if you are asking me. No team has started 0-3 and made the playoffs, and Carolina avoids the 0-3 start by shutting out the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, you heard that correctly. Of course, with Bryce Young and the offense. Maybe Xavier Legette being injured is a blessing in disguise right now. Michael Penix, 2 interceptions on the day. Bryce Young had a rushing touchdown as well. And the defense having a pick 6 2 interceptions for the defense. They played lights out. That's the vision that Dan Morgan wanted the Carolina Panther fans to see, and ultimately is paying off right now. Maybe it's just a Falcons thing, and we'll see here in the next week or two between the two teams that they play. But we play the Dolphins in 2 weeks, guys. And we can beat that Dolphins team. We can beat the team that we play this weekend as well, which we will talk about in our prediction video. But we can beat the team that we play. We could potentially be 5-2 before we play the Buffalo Bills at home in Carolina. That would be an absolute banger of a matchup. I'm high on Carolina right now. They got the job done thanks to the defense. Bryce Young balled out. Teteroa McMillan had a little bit of a slow day, but the other receivers helped Bryce get involved and stuff like that, as Carolina gets the job done in their first shootout since 2014. Yes, you heard that correctly. 2014, Panthers may be Atlanta's kryptonite, as we are now the second place team in the NFC South. Like I said, preseason prediction, I said the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South, and right now we're number 2 in the division. So hopefully that comes to fruition, as we will see here in the next couple of weeks against the Patriots and the Dolphins. Moving on to the next game, we'll talk about the Patriots, the Steelers at New England. Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, the connection gets the job done for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they move on to 2-1 on the year. Drake May, however, 2 touchdown passes, 268 yards. That Carolina defense is going to have a hard time containing him next week. We'll see what they can do against the Patriots on the road, but for now, the Patriots do fall as they are 1-2 on the year. Moving on, we had an absolute banger of a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. In the 12 o'clock slate, the Rams going into Philly, 2-0 Rams, 2-0, of course, Eagles. Eagles getting the job done thanks to a blocked kick there towards the end of the game. Rams going for the game-winning field goal. Obviously, Eagles defense has already blocked, and they blocked it again and get the job done at home, of course, to improve to 3-0 on the season. Man, I wish that the Rams would have gotten that job done. But hey, it is what it is as the Eagles move on to 3-0 on the year. Jets at Bucks, another blocked field goal return for a touchdown to save the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers there. The Jets, of course, obviously have the block, or did block the Buccaneers, but it didn't matter as Chase McGlone hits the game-winning field goal and the Bucks get the job done. Baker Mayfield and this Buccaneers team is going to be legit, but very interested to see what happens now with Chris Godwin being out for 4 to 6 weeks, guys. Wondering if Carolina can, of course, kind of sneak in there a little bit in that NFC South division as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the job done. Commanders at the Raiders. Marcus Mariota going off on Geno Smith and the Raiders. Yes, I know that Geno had 3 touchdown passes on the day, but Marcus Mariota balled out in this matchup. Terry McLaurin, is going to be interesting to see how long he is out for. Of course, after his injury on Sunday, we will see what the news is regarding Adam Scheffler here within the next day or two, so maybe that'll impact my prediction for next week. But as of now, the Commanders do get the job done. They're 2-1 on the year thanks to Marcus Mariota and company. Moving on to the next game and the final 12 o'clock game. The Texans at the Jaguars. The Jaguars, T-Law, getting the job done. And if Travis Etienne doesn't step it up on offense, Travis Hunter's going to take his spot. Yes, of course, the Jacksonville running back, or the Brian Thomas Jr. also needs to step up in that receiving spot as well. Their offense is really good. If Liam Cohen can tap into some of that potential, they are going to win the AFC South because of how bad it is. The Jags, they're 2-1 on the year now. Texans 0-3. They might go 0-6 because they play the 49ers, who we'll talk about here in a second. They got, I believe, the Buffalo Bills in there. They got the Dolphins in there as well. Maybe that's a win for them. But, of course, the Jags starting out the season hot, getting the job done at home against the Texans. Next game up, we got Cameron Dicker getting the job done for the Los Angeles Chargers, baby. We are 3-0 on the year against division of opponents. So right now, we're sweating the division, 3-0 on the year. We'll see what we can do against other teams in the AFC and the NFC here. But Justin Herbert, 300 passing yards, 1 touchdown. The touchdown pass that he threw to Quentin Johnston in the end zone was an absolute beauty, where he was falling down and threw it there. that play will be forever known as an amazing play by Justin Herbert. The dude has been balling out in the last 3 weeks. Hopefully he balls out in fantasy for me because that has yet to happen. But Justin Herbert and the Chargers, as we are now 3-0 on the year against the Broncos and the AFC West. Next game up, like I said, in the final matchup in the 325 slate, we had the Cardinals going into 49ers. Arizona looked to be one of those teams, man, where they were going to shock a lot of people, right? 2-0 to start the year. They're playing a banged-up 49ers roster right now. Mac Jones balled out, though. 284 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 21 of 41 completions as well, as Mac Jones could potentially take Brock Purdy if he has a couple more weeks like he did last week in that starting spot. Cardinals, they struggled a little bit in that matchup, which is why they're 2-1. Maybe it's just because they played the sorry Saints and the sorry Panthers in that week, but Bryce Young almost got that win. So I don't know. We'll see what to think of the Cardinals here within the next coming weeks. But for now, the 49ers get the job done. And ending Sunday, we had, of course, Sunday Night Football and a snooze fest, guys. I literally cannot lie. I watched, like, the one touchdown where the Chiefs scored at the end of the game. The Chiefs and the Giants, Patrick Mahomes and company getting the job done. But it was the Monday night matchup last night. That was an absolute banger of a game. Lions going into Baltimore. Baltimore and company, obviously Lamar Jackson wanted to get the job done so bad. He was the better quarterback. 286 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Lions getting the win, though, thanks to Dan the Man Campbell going for it on that 4th down there to ice the game. Amon-Ra St. Brown wide open in the middle of the field. And then Jared Goff with the touchdown pass to ice it for the Detroit Lions as they are now 2-1 on the year. And hey, maybe they don't need Ben Johnson. We'll see here in the next couple of weeks. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on these reactions in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. I'm going to hop off, get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Of course, a very short one compared to last week because I've got places I got to be, don't really have time to edit too much. But hopefully you guys will be seeing this video. We'll also have another video later today previewing the MLB playoffs, so stay tuned for that one. Hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.